Some of us, we all face the same thing, but we don't all react the same way. Some of us shrink from it and go into a state of depression as if this catatonic state of depression would immunize you from the effects of the pain. She doesn't have time to be depressed because the time she's wasting on depression could cost her daughter her life. So she makes, instead of making the decision to react with depression, she becomes desperate and determined. I won't even talk about desperate because I did that last time, and you need to get the desperate thing because until you understand desperate, you won't understand the way we worship. Cute people don't worship like desperate people. Cute people are more worried about their mascara. But when you get desperate, you will mess up your whole. When you get desperate, you don't care about your edges. You don't care about your curls. Come on, when you get desperate, you don't care that your tie is crooked. You don't care if you don't have on a tie. You don't care if you come out of your shoes. Have you ever had a problem that made you desperate and radical for Jesus? I mean radical for Jesus. I mean uncouth for Jesus. You don't care if you're on key or out of tune. You don't care whether the band can pick you up or not because you are desperate. There are some desperate people in this house right now. There are some determined people in this house right now. You don't get up in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, jump in the shower at 6:45, get out in traffic on a Sunday if you're not a desperate person. All the desperate, determined people make some noise in this house.
Everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no, wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
You have to develop a doggedness in order to make it. You got to have some toughness in you. And the only way to develop toughness is you got to practice being tough. And you cannot practice being tough by quitting every time you get tired, by stopping every time you don't feel like it, by giving up every time it gets challenged. That's what's wrong with people now. People don't make it because they always give up when it get hard. You know, it's so challenging now. You know, they was talking about me. I feel weak. I'm tired. Don't nobody life don't give a damn about you being tired. You got to get about the business now. You want to be successful, you got to get at it. You got to stop all this soft shoe shitting and all that mess, man. You got to get at it. You got to tear their mouth out. This ain't finna be easy. Life is not getting ready to be easy for you. You can stop hoping for that. You're going to lose loved ones. But you got to get doggish about it. Now, you really want to be successful, you're going to have to get tough. If you soft, you ain't going to win. I'm sorry. Because the devil is busy. The devil gonna throw hardship your way. He testing you too. You gotta get doggedly tough. Period. That's the truth. Now, you can be nice if you want to, and that's beautiful. You better get some dog. You ain't gonna make it.
Being aggressive. That means you are ready to attack. As I always point out, this doesn't mean you walk around with your chest puffed out, ready to bang heads with everyone around you. It doesn't mean you confront people physically or mentally head-on without a tactically superior plan. No. What it does mean is that you are going to get after it. You are going to move fast. You are going to think fast. You are going to outthink and outmaneuver the enemy. If I think the enemy is going to attack me, I'm going to attack them first. If I think they are going to seize a piece of terrain, I am going to be there waiting for them. If I think the enemy is going to flank me, too late. I'm already flanking them. I view aggression as a fire in your mind that says, I am going to win. I am going to battle, and I am going to fight, and I am going to use every tool I have to crush my enemy. And that is what aggression is to me. The unstoppable fighting spirit. The drive. The burning desire to achieve mission success using every possible tool, asset, and strategy and tactic to bring about victory. It is the will to win. And if that kind of internal, relentless aggression is your default mode, you will win.
If you want to know how to change your life, I give it to you in 3 words, boring as it sounds. Raise your standards.
I want you to think about what you feel when you get dressed up, or you put on a tux, or you put on a nice suit, and you go to an event. And I want you to think about how that feels. I want you to think about how powerful you feel, how successful you feel, even if you're not. What if you woke up every single day with that? What if you woke up every single day with that confidence? What if you woke up every single day feeling like the baddest motherfucker in the room, and you walked around with that everywhere you went? How different would your life be? How different would your relationships be? How different would your career be? But how do we translate that into day-to-day life? Because even people who wear suits know that if you wear a suit every day, it loses its luster. If you wear a tux every day, they call you a waiter. It's not the tuxedo. It's not the dress. It's not the suit that makes you feel that. It's the pride and your attention to detail. And this is how successful people cultivate this feeling over the course of their everyday life. You have to understand that you feeling that way is a direct reflection of how you're living up to the standards that you know in your heart you hold for yourself. If you miss a workout, if you miss meals, if you do a half-ass job at your work, if you do a half-ass job at home, guess what? You are not going to have that crazy feeling of superpower. Here's the good news. It's very easy to cultivate this. It starts when you get up. It starts with taking pride in your appearance. It starts with taking pride in your job. It starts with taking pride in your discipline that you know you need to have to become the person that you want to become. Right now is when everybody else quits. Right now is when everybody else is going to fall behind. Right now is when everybody else decides to do something that's easier or faster or not as hard. And that's what gets you ahead. That's what gets you to have pride. Because those struggles, those feelings, those things that are difficult, they are there to test you. You have to understand that struggle is a privilege. Hardship is a privilege. You have to take pride in not quitting when other people are going to quit. You have to take pride in executing your job to the very best of your ability. Negative emotion, negative frustration is compounded. If you can't figure out how to create a good situation out of a situation where you're having difficulty, you are in for a long ass kick. Your whole life is going to be a fucking train wreck. Talk about how the competition is the greatest at the bottom of the pyramid. The reason the competition is the greatest at the bottom of the pyramid is because it's easy. As you not just enduring your struggles and enduring your frustration, but turning them into a privilege. Knowing that they're teaching you a lesson. Knowing that other people who aren't as gritty and tough as you are quitting while you're sitting there suffering. Suffering is a fucking privilege.
Everybody in life gets their musts. They don't get their shoulds. Most people have a list of shoulds, don't they? Don't you have a list of things you should do, you should follow through on? I should lose some weight, I should work out more, I should get into the office earlier. People love to have their should list be met, but it's kind of like New Year's resolutions. You kind of know it's not going to happen. But when you decide something is a must for you, when you cut off any possible, you say, I'm going to find the way, I'm going to make the way. Human beings, when they resolve things, and they make a real resolution inside themselves, which is they raise the standard, they make it a must, they find a way to make things work. Because somewhere when we make this click, when we make something a must, we attach ourselves to it. It becomes part of our identity. Whatever people have their identity attached to, they live. We live who we believe we are. Your physical body today is an absolute reflection of only one thing. Not your goals, not your desires, but your standards. If your standard is you're an athlete, then there's a certain amount of strength, a muscle tone, and energy that's available in your body on a regular basis because that's who you are. And so you do whatever's necessary to maintain that identity. The strongest force in the human personality is this need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. Once you lock in on that identity, your brain finds a way to keep you there. If you identify yourself in a new way and you own that every day, and that becomes the standard of how you live, you'll find a way to make that standard real. It all comes down to the inner game, my friends. Changing your life is a change in the inner game. The outside world you can't control, but you have absolute control over this one if you learn the dynamics of what shapes you. Instead of your goals to lose 10 pounds, which is not compelling, what if your vision was to get back to my fighting weight? You know, this year, this month, this next 90 days, I'm going to transform my body. I'm going to take on a new challenge. I'm going to find some technique or strategy. There's a million of them that can reframe myself where I'm going to feel younger, stronger, more vibrant than ever before. Here's my reasons, because I want the energy to really make my life work. Because it's tough out there, and I want to be stronger than I've ever been before. Don't let this year be like last. And if last year was great, still don't let it be that way. Raise the standard. If your life is perfect and extraordinary, you darn well know you're not going to be happy unless you keep making it better. It's not what we get that make us happy. It's who we become. The only thing that's going to make you happy, my friend, in this year or any other, is to step up. It's to raise the standard. It's to discover what you're capable of and feel that incredible power pushing through whatever's holding you back and get to the other side of more of your true self. That's what this game's all about.
We all fall down in life. The question is, who gets back up? You go after it. You give it all you have. If you lose, at least you try, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena. The champions, guys. It's not their potential. It's not their genetics. It's their perseverance to always show up. Always willing to fail. Because in failure, that's part of success. Success is not, a marathon of life with just ups. Success is formulated through failures. Through facing your fears. Through falling down and getting back up. That's what creates the champion. Success does not define us. We define the success. Winners always show up. They're willing to lose in order to gain. Show up, and you have a chance. If you don't show up, the outcome's simple. Never there, like an audition. If you show up for the audition, there's a chance you might get the part. If you're too scared to show up and you sit back home, wondering what if and everything else, no one in hell's going to call you an applicant because you weren't present. You face your fears, you become the person you want to be. If you run from your fears, you're not living. You're alive. But you're not thinking the freedom. You're not running day. Day's running you. You always be the servant, not the master, guys. When you guys find a fear, that fear will either create you or destroy you. I love fear. The reason why? Behind every fear is a person you want to be. Fear is self-imposed, meaning it doesn't exist. You create it, you can destroy it too. It's an intangible. If you face your fears, guys, you will realize it's not that big. And once you face it, you go, oh my God, man, I spent all this time running from it. They're so small. Find a fear. Quickest, easiest way you can beat it. The mission, right when it comes in. If you allow it to sit, it will grow roots. Start breaking you down. Destroying the potential of the person you can be.
The mind is the battleground. The fight is in your mind. So I want to challenge you to waste no more effort wrestling with other people.
You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great.
It's wearing you down. Half of the things that you thought were going to happen never did happen. But if you allow those thoughts to dwell in your mind, it will succeed at robbing you of your peace, robbing you of your joy, robbing you of your life, just because you thought yourself into a nervous breakdown. You thought yourself into depression. You thought yourself into defeatism.
So listen to me. There are those of you saying, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be the best at this company, right? But your value system says you believe in sleep more than you believe in grinding. And you're spending more money than you're making. Why? Because you're a consumer, but you're reading all the books and you're saying everything the books are saying. But those books are not in alignment with your value. And if you're going to go to the next level, your values are going to have to change.
Your future is not predicated on the decision of someone else. You wasted too much of your life trying to change other people's mind about you. It doesn't matter what they think about you. God is not going to bless you by their opinion. God is going to bless you by how you see yourself.
One of the great lessons of life is that nothing will change unless you change. Nothing will get better unless you get better. It's not about circumstance. It's not about luck. We all get the good and the bad. We all get the challenging events arrive in our life. That's a normal part of being a human. I'm talking about what you choose to do with those circumstances. If you are waiting for the economy to change, if you are waiting for your paycheck to change, waiting for your relationship to change, waiting for something to change, nothing will change. If you want change, you must change.
Most people allow their fear of failure, 80%, allow their fear of failure to outweigh their desire to succeed. When you're willing to fail again and again and again, when you make up your mind to become unstoppable, when you make up your mind to become a no matter what person, then that will then give birth to a part of yourself that you don't know right now.
Set some higher goals. Reach for some higher purpose. Go for something beyond what you thought you could do. You've got to believe that tomorrow can be better than today. But here's the big one. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Ask for wisdom to deal with the challenges of today and tomorrow. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Wish you were better.
We are not made to survive. We're not made to manage our pain or get through it. We're made to be creators of our lives. We can create anything. Anything we can dream about, we can create. How much of life do you feel like you control? Or how much does life control you? Do you tend to control more of what's going on, or events controlling you? It's very easy to have those events start to take control, unless we take control of what's between our ears, our own mind. You see, what you and I focus on massively affects how we feel, whether we're thriving or surviving. If you focus on what you can't control, if you focus on the past, if you focus on what's missing from your life constantly, that pattern of focus will make you frustrated, overwhelmed, depressed. Focus equals power. If you want to thrive, you got to focus on what you can control. You got to focus on the difference you can make. You got to focus on what's already in your life that you're grateful for.
The most powerful motivational speeches that I have ever heard came from people who told me I couldn't do something. You know why? Because when they told me I couldn't do it, I was bound and determined to show them that I could. Tell me I can't do it. I will prove you wrong. I will show you.
Dispirited because I did not that last time